Greetings students, my name is Rahema Javeed. I am an Ask IITian in-house expert for biology and I have been associated with Ask IITians since 3 years. Now anyone of you who has probably been to the zoo must have seen a large number of animals, and each of these animals look different from other animals. The animal world is immensely diverse and our understanding of it has been greatly enhanced by analysis of DNA and study of evolution and development. In this presentation, I will take you through the various high-level grouping of animals together with an overview of biology of each group of animals. So, the topics that we are going to cover include the basis of classification, in which we'll be going through the various characteristics on the basis of which the animal kingdom has been classified. Then, we'll be discussing about the various high-level groupings that are known as the phylums. So, the animal kingdom includes 10 phylums in all, and the first phylum is the phylum Porifera, which includes the sponges. The second phylum is the phylum Coelenterata. The third phylum is the phylum Ctenophora, in which we'll be knowing the characteristic feature that is known as the bioluminescence. The next phylum that we are going to discuss is the phylum Platyhelminthes, which includes all the flatworms in the world. Then we'll be discussing about the phylum Aschelminthes, which are also known as the roundworms. Next, we'll be discussing about the phylum Annelida, which look like roundworms, but they are different from the roundworms in the way that they have segmentation. Next, we'll be discussing about the largest phylum in the world, that is the phylum Arthropoda, and they include the insects. Then we'll move our discussion towards the phylum Mollusca, which are the soft-bodied animals. Then we will be having our discussion about the phylum Echinodermata, and the last phylum that we'll be discussing is the phylum Chordata, which include the animals having the notochord. So let's start. So now we'll start off with what comprises animal kingdom. So the animal kingdom comprises of multicellular eukaryotic animals. And the animal kingdom is one of the 5 kingdoms given by R.H. Whitaker. That is the 5 kingdom classification scheme. The classification of the animal is based on mainly, there are different characteristics. And the main features are the habitat, level of organization, symmetry, etc. So, the topics that we are going to cover include the basis of classification in which we'll discuss all the various characteristic feature on the basis of which the animal kingdom has been classified. And then I'll be giving you an overview of the classification of the animals. Then we'll discuss about all the high-level groupings of the animal kingdom. So these high-level groupings are actually called phylums, and there are 10 phylums into which the animal kingdom has been divided. The first phylum is the phylum Porifera, and in the phylum Porifera you will find all the cellular level of organization animals, and these are the sponges. The next is the phylum Coelenterata, and these animals include Hydra, etc. And the next is the phylum Ctenophora, in which this is a small group, and the characteristic feature of these animals is bioluminescence. So these are a little different group of animals. After the phylum Ctenophora, we'll be discussing the phylum Platyhelminthes, which includes all the flatworms. Then we'll move on to the phylum Aschelminthes, which include all the roundworms. Then we'll discuss about the phylum Annelida. These are also round cylindrical animals, but they have metamerism, that means segmentation in their body. Then we'll discuss the phylum Arthropoda, the largest phylum, and these includes the insects. Then we'll move on to the phylum Mollusca, that includes all the soft-bodied animals. And the last 2 phylums include the phylum Echinodermata and phylum Chordata. In phylum Echinodermata, starfishes, brittle star, all these organisms are included, and the phylum Chordata includes all the animals which have notochord partially or wholly in their life cycle. So, our first topic of discussion is the basis of classification. These are the various characteristics on the basis of which the animal kingdom has been classified. And the first basis of classification is the level of organization. So, in the level of organization represents the hierarchy. This level of organization, it represents actually the hierarchy of body organization and systems. So a simple organization scheme from the lowest level to the highest level has been given here, in which the first one is the acellular or the protoplasmic. So these are the animals which do not have any cell and only protoplasm is there, and the examples are the protista. The next level of organization is the cellular. So these are the animals in which the cells, they are made up of the cells. And in the cellular level of organization, there is the colony level of organization, which is shown by the volvox, and there is aggregate level of organization, which is shown by the sponges. The next three level of organization includes the tissue level, the organ level, and the organ system level. So the tissues are a group of similar cells performing the same function, and this tissue is then organized into the organ level, into organs, and this organ level is organized into the organ systems. And the examples are nematic helminthes onwards. Our next level of organization is the symmetry. This symmetry actually refers to the arrangement of the body parts on the opposite sides of the body, to the similarity of the arrangement of these body parts. There are three types of symmetry present in the animal kingdom, that is the spherical symmetry, radial symmetry, and the bilateral symmetry. The spherical symmetry, in spherical symmetry, what happens is that the body of an individual can be divided into similar halves by any plane passing through the center of the body. Like this, you can see here that the plane of symmetry is passing through the center of the body of an organism, and the animal's body is spherical. And the most important example of spherical symmetry is the volvox. The next level of symmetry is the radial symmetry. In the radial symmetry, what happens is that individual can be divided into two equal halves by any plane passing through the center from top to bottom. And examples include the cyclone, which is a sponge, hydra, which is a coelenterate, and starfish, which is an echinoderm. And in bilateral symmetry, what happens is that the body can be divided into equal halves only through a single plane that is passing through the center of the body. And the examples are all the invertebrates, not all invertebrates, in most of the invertebrates, but all vertebrates show bilateral symmetry. So here in this figure, you can see that in the radial symmetry diagram, there are many planes that are passing through the center of the body from top to bottom. And in bilateral symmetry, you can see that there is only a single plane that is passing through the center, that is dividing the body of the animal into two equal halves. Our next basis of classification is the germ layers. So these germ layers are the layers that differentiate at the time of gastrulation in a developing embryo, and these include ectoderm, mesoderm, and the endoderm. So on the basis of the germ layers, there are two types of animals, the diploblastic and the triploblastic animals. In the diploblastic animals, there are only two germ layers, the ectoderm and the endoderm. And the examples are from Porifera to Cnidaria. Cnidaria is the Coelenterata, The other name of Coelenterata is Cnidaria. The triploblastic animals have 3 germ layers: the ectoderm, mesoderm and the endoderm. And the examples are from platyhelminthes to chordates. So this is the diploblastic arrangement, in which you can see that in between the ectoderm and the endoderm there is a diffused cell layer, that is the mesoglia. So it is a translucent jelly-like substance that provides attachment of both the ectoderm and the endoderm. So the mesoglia connects both endoderm and the ectoderm in the diploblastic animals. The next diagram shows the triploblastic arrangement, in which you can see a well-developed mesoderm in between the ectoderm and the endoderm. There is another term known as the coelom. Coelom is the name given to the internal body cavity that is present between the digestive tract and the outer body wall. It is fluid filled and it is also lined by a peritoneum, and this peritoneum is derived from the mesoderm. So it is mesodermal in origin. And this diagram shows the diagrammatic view of the coelom. When the animals have coelom, their body cavity looks like this. There is another arrangement known as the pseudocoelom. So when the animal has a pseudocoelom, it looks like this, the body cavity looks like this, and if the animal is acoelomate, that means it doesn't have any coelom, it looks like this. So these are the types of coelom: acoelom, pseudocoelom and the eucoelom. The examples of acoelom are the Porifera, Coelenterata and Platyhelminthes, that are the flatworms, and examples of pseudocoelom are the roundworms, that are the nematodes and rotifers. These rotifers are the wheel animals. And the examples of the eucoelom include the higher invertebrates like annelids, echinoderms, and chordates are also eucoelomate animal. This eucoelom is divided into 2 types, the schizocoelom and the enterocoelom. In the schizocoelom, what happens is that the coelom is developed by the splitting up of the mesoderm. So in schizocoelom, the coelom is formed by the splitting of mesoderm. And in enterocoelom, the coelom is formed by the pouches that are pinched off of the digestive tract. The coelom is actually formed by the pouches that are pinched off of the digestive tract. Our next basis of classification is the body plan. The animals can be classified on the basis of the body plan as the cell aggregate plan. The next is the blind sac plan, and the last one is the tube within a tube plan. So in cell aggregate plan, the animals do not have any tissues or the organs like the sponges. In the blind sac plans, the body is made up of cells, and cells are organized into the tissues, and the digestive tract is not well developed. It has only a single opening which serves both for ingestion and egestion, like in the coelentrates and the flatworms. In tube within a tube plan, organ systems are present, and there is a well developed digestive canal which has 2 openings that serves both for, one serves for the ingestion and the other opening serves for the egestion. This tube within a tube plan is divided into 2 other groups, the protostomes and the deuterostomes. So in protostomes, what happens is that the mouth develops first and anus develops later. And in deuterostomes, anus develops first and mouth develops later. And protostomes are annelids, mollusks and arthropoda, and deuterostomes are echinoderms and chordates. Our last basis of classification is the presence or the absence of notochord. And on the basis of the notochord, animals are divided into non-chordates because they do not have a notochord, and chordates because they have a notochord. So this is the difference between the non-chordates and the chordates. This notochord is actually a rod-like structure which is made up of cells. So this blue region in the middle of this animal shows the notochord. So students, we finished discussing about all the various characteristic features on the basis of which the animal kingdom has been classified, like the habitat, level of organization, the germ layers, and presence or absence of the notochords. And in the next part, you will be seeing the various ways in which the classification of the animals has been done. So stay tuned.